to Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast. This is episode 22. Today it's Sunday, the 30th of August. It's early morning, so I'm recording inside because it's still wet and cold outside. Usually I record later in the day, but I woke up early and both the dogs are asleep, so I figured it's better to record now, since I figure I will probably have quite a busy Sunday. So yeah, early morning, I have my knitting around me, and now it's cold enough, so I have a cup of tea with perfect temperature for drinking now, so that's great. Maybe you can hear it on my voice, but I have a beginning of a cold. Don't like it at all, but I'm trying to cure myself with lots of healthy stuff to avoid a breakout. I don't like having a cold, and it's even worse when it's like a warm weather outside. I don't know why, but I think it's worse. I have been doing some knitting since the last record. I had some uploading problems in the last episode, so I recorded it on a Thursday, and plan to upload it overnight, as I usually do, and then publish it before I went to the train on the Friday. But I couldn't because the computer crashed, so I had to save the finished episode on a USB stick and then bring it home to my parents and upload it there. But I hope you enjoyed it, even though it maybe wasn't that long. I had a really great time in Sweden. I will talk a little bit about it later on, but maybe I should start with the knitting. The only finished object I gave away when I was in Sweden. The pattern was called Jerry the Musical Monkey by Rebecca Danger. I will post a picture of it, of my project here. So I knitted my monkey, which I named Sam, the Psychedelic Simian. I knitted it in Dancing Dog Dyeworks worsted weight yarn, and it was a yarn with orange and greens and white and blues. The color name is 5 o'clock somewhere, and there was a contrasting orange that I used for the hands and feet and the mouth, which was named Sunset Orange. I was really pleased with the pattern or the result. I actually assembled the monkey on the train, so we took an early train to Sweden, and I brought stuffing and all the knitted pieces, and then I sewed it on the train, and I gave it away to my little baby cousin. So I was really pleased with the monkey. I will probably knit more toys because I thought it was a lot of fun. So maybe I should do more of that. It's like baby knits. It's quick, not too complicated, and the result is always awesome. But then that's the only project that I have finished since I recorded last Thursday. So when I was going to travel, I always want to have enough knitting so that I will not be without something to knit on while traveling. But I do not like to have heavy packaging. I do not like big volumes of things. I want to travel as light as possible. So I decided to bring my cross stitch, which I will show you a little bit later. And I also started a new sock project. It's the problem with me. I see shiny, shiny, new pattern, shiny, shiny, look at this. And then I forget that I already had a sock on my needles. I just quietly pushed it away and cast on a new one. So I can move to my whips. Oh, let's see. In my cute pug bag, I have my sock. I have gone quite long. Some of you might have seen this on Instagram. It doesn't look much as a sock, but that's because of the patterning. Let's see, I have a sock blocker somewhere. Handy to be around my desk because everything is in an arm's length. Anyways, the pattern is called Reykjavik from Cookie. So it's inspired by Iceland, or more properly, it's inspired by the cathedral they have in the capital of Iceland. It's a really, really cool one. It's called Hallgrímskirkja. I don't speak Icelandic, but that's approximately what it's called. I took a really nice picture of it when I was in Iceland, so I can put a picture of the church cathedral here. And I found this pattern from Cookie, which is inspired by the cathedral. So there are some ribbing and some cables. When you have seen the picture of the church cathedral, you probably understand where it comes from. Maybe I should do it like this also. The cathedral is quite unique because it's made out of concrete. There you see it better. So this is the back. And no, that's the front. So the cathedral is made totally out of concrete, so it's a quite unique cathedral. It's one of the big things to see when you're there. So the yarn is a Regia yarn called Sentimento. And it looks like this. So it's a 100-gram ball. Let's see, it's 100 grams, 420 meters, so 460 yards, 4-ply. And this colorway is called 13287. It's a gray, which I thought was appropriate because the church is in concrete. So yeah, this is the first sock, and I'm knitting it with my 2.25 Knit Pro Things, so the circular one. And I promised you to give you a more proper review of those needles. And I can say in this pattern there's some knit togethers and wraps and stuff, and it has worked totally good. I have had no problems with. I was a little bit concerned about the needles being maybe too blunt, but also I do like blunt needles because then I don't stab myself. Or actually, when I knit, I rub it against my index finger, so I get like sores lengthwise on my finger, so blunt needles doesn't do that as much. But I have no problems with knit togethers or things, so they are sharp enough. So I like them. I wasn't sure about how to do with the sizing because I have always knitted my socks on 2.5 millimeter, but I figure I want my socks to be a little bit more dense. So I have been starting to try knit socks on 2.25s instead. But then comes the problem that I have quite big feet. So I always had the problem with my socks being too small. So I chose to go down to 2.25 and then knit the biggest size, which is on 72 stitches. I have tried this and it actually works fine. So maybe that's the trick for me. The only thing for me, I have quite big calves, or calf muscle is quite defined. So this leg is almost too long for me. I think it's maybe could be 80 rows or something like that, and it's too long because it gets up on the calf muscle. It's okay, but if it had been longer, I would have given them to somebody else. But I'm planning on keeping them. So this is the first one, and I started it in the car travel from my parents' house to my baby cousins. So I knitted almost the whole leg on the trip there and back. So that's quite nice. And there was one thing that actually was a little bit funny because when I bought this yarn, I had the pattern in mind, and I was looking at it and thought, oh, Regia, and it's gray, that will be perfect. And when I started knitting with it, I noticed that this smells a little bit unusual until I found out, yeah, that's because it's lavender scented. So that was a weird thing. It's not like smelling like in your face much, but when I knit with it and smell my hands, I have a slight scent of lavender. I don't know why, but it was quite funny because I didn't notice when I bought it. So yeah, enough with the sock. So that's the knitting I have for work. So I need a couple of more centimeters before starting the toe. So maybe I will have a half finished object next week. I hope so. So yeah. I need some tea to clear my throat. I don't know if you get disturbed watching people drink things. I actually think it's quite cozy when I'm watching podcasts and knitting, and then they have animals running around or drinking tea or drinking coffee at the same time. It feels like I have friends at home as knitting company. So it's more like having a knitting night with some good friends. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I should put back my sock blocker there. And then there is only one other work in progress, since I have my Reykjavik socks at work. I have only one knitting at home. I'm trying to be monogamous. You have seen the body to this earlier in spring, but this is almost the whole first sleeve for my Vetur sweater by Veris Jonsdottir. This is the sweater I'm knitting in the weird Icelandic yarn called Plötulopi. So this is the almost unspun I think they call it. So the fibers are merely keeping together, and I take 2 strands, so one from the inside and one from the outside, and knit a sweater. So I do love the Icelandic sweater I already have knitted, and I really like this one because of the difference in the yarn choice. I think the colors are really great. It's a dark brown and oatmeal. So I casted on this sleeve when I got home. So on Monday I casted this on this sleeve. And so this is 1 week of knitting at home. I have been quite busy doing other things, but I had a really lot of progress when I went to knitting night or knitting cafe. And this Thursday, it was totally awesome. I often feel like I'm just sitting by myself, by my computer, or in the sofa, watching Netflix, knitting by myself, because I don't know so many people here at all where I live, and I especially don't know so many knitting people. So there isn't any spontaneous meeting at the cafe and knitting, so I'm only knitting at home. But then last autumn I talked about a knitting cinema, and the 2 girls or ladies, I don't know what they prefer, they are really awesome. So they invited me to the knitting night they have at the library, because one of them works at the library in another town. So I got invited, and once in spring, so I took the bus, and I was so happy with doing that. So I got invited, like a Facebook invite that, oh, we're starting the knitting or the wool evenings. So they having once a month. So last Thursday it was the first for this semester, and I took the bus. It takes 25 minutes with the bus, so that works totally fine. And then when I went there, I had like maybe 1 or 2 repeats, and then I knitted 8 repeats while talking and laughing and having a really good time. So I need 3 more repeats on this sleeve, and then I need to knit another one. Then I'm starting on the yoke. I'm really looking forward to it. So maybe I will can work on the other sleeve next knitting night, or maybe not, because it's a month, so I plan to be finished with this sweater by then. There's a really Icelandic theme on me in my knitting. Icelandic inspired, and Icelandic yarn, and Icelandic pattern. I love traditional knitting. That's probably it. I feel a difference. I'm just talking and can't really remember what I have been saying. I don't know if it's good or bad. The ribbing is knitted on 4.5 millimeter needles, and then I need to rest on 5.5 millimeter needles. So it's quite thick needles, so that's why it goes by so fast. So yeah, 1 sleeve almost done. It surely looks like I'm not going to be on the desert sleeve island with never-ending sleeves, because on 5.5 millimeter needles everything goes quick. So, and I have actually no crochet or no spinning to show you. I have been having a busy week, so, but I have had quite a good progress on my cross stitch. The frosted pumpkin stitchery, like a mystery cross stitch with Christmas theme, A Very Merry Christmastown. The last time you saw it, it was only in white, so you could hardly see it. But I figure no, it's actually visible. When I was traveling by train, I felt like the most unprepared knitter or crafter in the world, because I went on the train without any markers, like highlighters, because the sock pattern, Reykjavik socks, are only charted. So I needed a highlighter to mark the rows, and I didn't bring any highlighters or post-its or anything, so I couldn't start the socks on the train as I planned. Then I figured, oh, but I brought my cross stitch as well. And the problem was I didn't bring the color and symbol chart, so I had only cross stitch with blue, which was finished, and white, and I had no clue which of the other color numbers on the embroidery floss which would correspond to the symbols. The problem is that there's several pinks and reds, so I couldn't just pick one. So I made all the whites, and I had no internet connection, of course. So I made all the whites on the train, and then I made the door and the Santa Claus clothing at my parents. And then when I traveled home, and at my parents I had internet connection, so I could write down the numbers. So I have them on this card that we got with the symbols. So there you can attach the threads. So I have wrote down the numbers, so I can go anywhere without mixing it up. So now I have almost finished the wall on the house. And actually the second clue has been released, and I'm maybe halfway finished on the first. But they write like several times in the email that it's not a competition. It's not supposed to be a stress factor that you need to be finished with the first clue when the second comes out. It's meant to be a relaxing, fun cross stitch to have all autumn, and then have an awesome wall hanging by Christmas. I actually don't want to think about Christmas already, because I want a long, cozy autumn first. I have no problems with winter or Christmas. I do love Christmas, but I don't want to start preparing for Christmas before the 1st of Advent. Oh, let's see, my charger for the computer is not working. There. But yeah, this is a really nice cross stitch on linen, as I probably say every time. It makes it a little bit harder, and I work slower on the linen compared to the Ida. For those of you who doesn't do cross stitch, I can show you. Maybe you can see it, that the linen is only thin threads, like a woven fabric, and then I need to count the threads, so 2 to the right and 2 up, and 2 to the right and 2 up, to mark every little cross. Where if I have the Aida, I can show you. You can see the squares. So it's one square, so it's much easier. So yeah, some cross stitch, and then I have some stash enhancement, and that is probably the last thing. So this will be a short episode, but hey, I'm being good monogamous knitter, so therefore I only have one work project and one at-home project to show you. I don't think you mind. Otherwise, you can write to me and say, hey, talk more, talk about this or whatever. If you have any suggestions, just tell me. I love to have some communication with you viewers, because I wouldn't do this if I haven't had any people communicating and talking with me and giving me thumbs up and subscribing. I was really glad this week. I found on my Instagram account that I have 600 followers, and it feels so great. For some people, that's maybe not so many, but to me, I am so flattered and so happy. And then I went to YouTube, and I have 250 subscribers, so that's really great. I'm so happy about it. Thank you guys, you are awesome. Spending time with me and making me continue to do this. Some more tea. Yes, let's see what I should start with. I have so many, not so many, but I have some pretty things. Maybe I should start with the fun tool. Because when I had booked all my train tickets and know that I am going to Sweden, I always take a look at all my Swedish favorite web shops, and then I ordered stuff home to my mother. And there's a Swedish shop called Magasin Duett, located in Gothenburg, and she had posted on Instagram, I think it was, that she had the new Pom Pom Quarterly magazine, which I accidentally got. That was the purpose. This is the first Pom Pom for me, and I really like it. I especially, maybe because of my heritage, I found this hat to be gorgeous. Let's see. Left and right is not the same. Yeah. It's a cute hat with horses on it, and it's in purple. So, what do I want? And also, I was really happy to see, where is it? I found these pretty mittens. Let's see, where are they? I don't think they show so good. It's really pretty mittens with some patterning on the upside here. And the designer is Melody, who has the Mandarins podcast. If you haven't checked it out, you should, because she's a really, really lovely woman who is doing a lot of pretty stuff, and she talks a lot about using nature's resources and stuff that I really like. I wish that I also could go out in the forest and pick mushrooms and have a cozy time. So her pattern is published in this. So if you haven't got it, get the magazine. You can get it both as a print or as a digital copy. I first thought about getting a digital one, but then I saw the magazine that had this, so I got it. And then I got this little thing. And if I would have been a really smart podcaster, I would have prepared it so I could show you, but maybe I should do that some other time. But this is, I don't know if you can translate it to a knitting mill. The point is that you have some yarn inside, and then they go like this. Let's see if you can see how it works. And then these needles jump around, and out here will come a knitted I-cord. So I love knitting baby clothing, and I have seen that a lot of at least Norwegian designers enjoy having long I-cords, like for the waistband of pants and stuff. And I sometimes find it hard to get a really nice I-cord that is smooth and even, and if it's for bigger kids, the I-cords can be quite long. So I figured I should try this out. We'll see. I can see if I can give you a demonstration in my next episode or something. Then I figured if I'm buying knitting stuff, I must let it have some yarn to travel with. So I found a lot of yarn in her shop that I want to try out. There's a lot of Instagrammers that I follow that lives in Sweden that knit with the yarn that she have, but I didn't have like a specific project in mind for some of the yarns that I really want to try, but I found these beauties. So this is John Arbon, knit by numbers. So this is merino. Let's see if they have any color name. The white is, it's not bright white, but it's not off-white. It's somewhere in between. They call the shade KBN55. And the green one is a little bit more vibrant in real life, and they name the shade, let's see, KBN70. So this is 100 gram in each hank, and it's 250 meters, so approximately sport weight. I actually have a plan for a baby sweater in these. I hope it will be nice. I'm not sure when I will have time to knit it, because now I really want to finish the Icelandic sweater, and I want to cast on both the Brooklyn tweed sweaters, and I have another Icelandic sweater that I want to knit, so maybe I can squeeze it in somewhere in between. I'm not sure, but the yarn is really soft, so I'm really tempted to cast this on as well. I want to cast on all the wings all the time. It's just how good self-control I have that decides how many projects I have. But at the moment I technically only have 2 projects ongoing. The adult sweater and the socks, if you don't count the chain socks that is not working on, and the blanket that I'm not crocheting on. So maybe I should have a baby sweater, or maybe I should finish something first. We'll see. The excitement of knitting. Then I had a book that I forgot to show you some episodes ago. I went to my local knitting store, looking around, like scanning the new colorways in the Norwegian yarns, and I found this book. This is in Norwegian, so translated roughly, it would be the big book of knits for boys or something like that. So the book is aimed for babies and children from 0 up to 8 years old. Let's see. She wrote about in the index, or no, not the pre. Oh, I don't know the English word. Like the pre-words. Pre-words. I don't know. The little thing that the author writes in the beginning of the book. I have no idea what it's called. Sorry. She wrote about getting a baby boy, her first baby, and she wanted to knit clothing for him. And she was really, really disappointed because the market for knitted patterns that suited for unisex or boys wasn't there at all, or a very small amount. So she designed some patterns and took inspiration from old Norwegian patternings and stuff. So she made this book. So it is actually, I think it works well for girls too, but it's aimed to be practical and not like cute with bows and ruffles and stuff. So it's plain but pretty knitting. Let's see if I can show you some of the things I liked. I should have taken some post-its, so you wouldn't have to wait for me doing this. Like this baby body, simple but really pretty. And let's see. And this pretty cardigan. Anyways, I will not bore you with all looking around in this, but the point I'm trying to say, I think, is that the clothing is practical, it's cute, and you can make it for any child. I'm in the opinion that you shouldn't separate boys and girls. They are children anyways, and you should let them be what they want and dress how they want. I myself was a girl that didn't want any ruffles or bows or pink, and my mother just accepted it, and I was perfectly fine having children's clothing, because colors aren't bound to a gender, in my opinion. I'm not so good about explaining how I think, but yeah, children are just children. They can have all colors and do what they like, but I can see a point in what she talks about in this book, that many of the patterns are for cute little princesses, and there is a lot of other kids than cute princesses. I made this reflection myself when I got the news that I will get a baby cousin, a baby boy, and I thought, oh well, the baby cousin the girl that's have turned 1. When she was born, I knitted her a baby set, and then when I have been looking around planning what I should knit for her in the future, it's so many patterns with cute ruffles and bows and hearts and in pinks, and all the things I have made for her have been colorful, but not typically girly. And when I figured, oh, I should knit this baby boy some cute baby set with clothing, I had a really hard time finding something that was appropriate in my mind. And I don't think my expectations are that high. But I knitted a cute baby set in green and browns, which was really, they were really happy for the gift, and I was really pleased with how it turned out. So, but anyways, when I have been planning for knitting to them, I can see that there's a lot of pattern for the girls part, but not as much for the boys. And some people say, oh, boys don't wear knits, and I think it's just, why shouldn't they? Because knits are awesome. It's a little bit easier when you look in traditional Norwegian patternings, because they do not separate in the same way, boys and girls, because the patterning is just like X and O's and dots and that kind of stuff. So if you have a very pink liking child, loves pink, you can knit it in pink. If you have a child that likes green, you can knit it in green. And there's no one that will think, oh, why did you knit it like that? Like one example is a pair of mittens in a traditional Norwegian patterning. My grandma was really kind and decided to knit one to every family member that wanted a pair. So my mother wanted a red pair, I wanted a purple pair, my aunt wanted a pink pair, and the other one wanted a turquoise pair. My brother wanted dark blue. And then she knit the same pattern for all of us, just in different colors, and they are all really amazing. I shouldn't blather so much about it, but I think it's nice with some clothing that is practical, and I don't think it's only for boys, but it's more neutral. So I can knit it to both my baby cousins, and we'll see. It will be interesting to see how they develop and which color they will like, because now they're not old enough to tell, but I will definitely listen if they develop an interest for me knitting for them or for colors. I will cherish whatever they like. I hope this wasn't too bouncing back and forth and being, I don't know, crazy. I actually have 2 things left on my stash enhancement, and the gender ranting will be saved for some other time if you want it, or otherwise I will shut up. I got this cute little thing with this bird on it, and this my brother and dad was joking, oh, do you use it for sewing to sew in your knitting? Oh, I'm lost in words. They say, oh, do you cut your knitting with it, but it seems not to be so sharp? And I said, no. This is for measuring your gauge. So for us in the metric system, this is 10 centimeters. And I really like the edge because it makes it a lot easier to put it on the fabric and count the stitches. And also it's really pretty, so that's nice. And then I got a new cross stitch box. Let's see, I will not show you my address, but it says Emma's Girl Power Box. So this is from the Geeky Little Stitcher. Geeky Little Stitcher. Sorry, Jess. Yes, makes these amazing box, which I have been talking about again and again and again. And I got this amazing box. It's so cute. I don't want to ruin it when I open it. But this theme was girl power. Let's see. And it comes with several cross stitch patterns, and you get some fabric and a mini hoop and threads, so you can make the patterns. And the theme was girl power, so fries before guys. One that says girl power, and one that says ovaries before broveries. I thought it was really fun. I'm maybe not a huge fan of fries, but I thought it was quite fun. Silly me, talking about gender neutrality, and then laugh about girl jokes. But anyways, a fun box, and I'm actually waiting for some more boxes. I haven't started the first one yet, but hey, you can't have too many cross stitches or too much yarn or anything. So I blundered more than I thought I should, so this episode will be a regular one. Yay! I'm not as bad at this as I thought I was. It's quite interesting because I figure when I watch other podcasts, they always seem so relaxed and just talk about everything they want to talk about, and yet seem spontaneous and planned in the same time. And even though I have like show notes written down with the pattern names and stuff, it feels like I'm not spontaneous about what I'm talking about. And when I get spontaneous about talking about something, a subject, I'll get lost. I lost the track, and then I jump back, and it seems like I'm jumping back and forth. So I hope it's not too annoying for you. Maybe I should stop apologizing. I figure if you're thinking it's annoying, you would say so, and if you like it, you will tell me too. So yeah, I have been thinking about how often I should record. I have had as a goal to record every week, but it's often become every other week. But I'm still going to try to keep my goal and record every week. We will see. Maybe I think it's better to have short episodes and record often, to have a regular recording every Sunday. And maybe pre-record if I'm traveling, but I'm not traveling so often, so that won't be a problem. I was about to say I have no plans for next week, but I do have. Next week they are going to have like a big, I think they call it European food market here in town for a couple of days. So I will go with my boyfriend and buy a heck load of cheese. at least. I found this food market the first year I moved here. I was alone and was walking downtown, and there was a food market. And that's one of the bad things for cheese lovers, or at least for me, here in Norway. They, like, the import rules are very, very rough. They want to cherish their own local products and the country's typical products. It's actually a good thing. You can get a lot of traditional Norwegian things. I don't mind, but I'm very fond of cheeses with very strong flavors that have been stored for a very, very long time, 18 months more. So I want a lot of taste, at least when I eat it on a sandwich. I want a really, really tasty cheese. And I haven't been able to find any. And then when I got to the food market, which comes once a year, there's a big, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, there's a company from Holland, or they say it's Netherlands, but from Holland, the region, and they bring cheese, and they have so many tasty cheeses, smoked cheese and like a pesto cheese and matured cheeses, and the good thing for me is they can vacuum. They, yeah, do you say it? You suck the air out of a plastic bag, so it's in a vacuum. I don't know how you pronounce it, but vacuum, I say. So they pack it and suck the air out, and that cheese can be in this package for 6 months. So I buy several kilos of cheese, so I can have cheese for almost a year, or at least half a year, and then I can survive without cheese until next time, and then I can get some new cheese. So that's the big plan for this next week. Cheese! I love cheese. That's one of my problems, and it's quite good. If one of the worst problems I have is that I love spicy cheeses. I have a quite good life, I think. Anyways, what else am I going to do? They are probably going to have like a used market next Sunday. They have like, maybe I should record so you can see it, because here in Hamar, where I live, they have one street through the center with shop and cafes, and then they have a street that goes further down to the lake, and across all the the street they have once a month in the summer that people can bring a table and all their used stuff and sell it. So me and my coworker, we go every month and watch this, so I get some fun stuff. So that's on the Sunday, and the food market will be from Thursday, I think. So I will have something to do. But I think that is all for now. But I will try to record on Sunday and see if I can record down in the used market or maybe in the food market, so you can see how it looks. I hope the weather will be nice. Anyways, I really hope that you will have a really nice week and that you will have a lot of knitting time. And I hope you will come back and watch the next episode next week. Take care. Bye.